We want all women to join us, you know, we will support them, mentor them, assist them as much as we can so that they can actually, you know, get a career in the tech world. You know, there's this misconception people have that IT is for men alone, or IT is very difficult. So you just want people to, you know, to clear that doubt. It's not true. Tech is for everybody. The only thing is that also people have that misconception that, yes, this is very difficult, or if you don't know how to program, if you don't know how to code, you cannot have a career in tech. It's a lie. There are so many. In fact, coding is just like 20%. There are other career roles in tech that doesn't require coding, and that is very, very simple. That they understand that you guys can join and earn good money. So that's basically who we are. Now, what do we do? So currently, we offer online webinar, just like we are doing now. So each online webinar, we will try as much as possible to pick like today, we are discussing roles in IT that don't require coding, but subsequently we'll be picking this role one after the other. We'll be talking about them, you understand them, you will get to know how to start, how to do on the online courses, how to join a boot camp. You get to know more about these roles. But today, what we are basically doing today is just we kind of have an insight of what this role is all about. You just get to know about this role, kind of understand it and be like, so I can actually do this even though I studied this in school. Honestly, don't even need to study computer science in school. In fact, some people, even here in the UK, they are not even graduates self, but they are really doing well in their field. So now, apart from online webinar, we offer mentoring sessions. But for you to join our mentoring session, we have to do that based on criteria, because we can't actually allow everybody to get in. You know, because most people will just come here and run away and be like, oh, this thing I can't do. So we have to be sure that you're committed. So for you to join our mentoring session, you must have either started an online course or a boot camp. Then we'll take you from the general group to a mentee group. There we can follow up with what you're doing. We can assist you. If you have any challenges with your courses, we can help you. You know, we'll work with you, we will support you, we'll mentor you. At least we'll try as much as possible to be having sessions with you every week, every Saturday, you know, to talk to you, to know how far you've gone. And once you're done with your courses, we'll help you prepare your CV and you will start looking for a job. At least we'll kind of assess you and to know that you're ready to start looking for a job. Then the third thing we do is we offer online training. Currently now we've not started, but we intend to start very soon. We need to put some things in place because we are just launching and we cannot just start online training. We need to get good facilitators, people we are sure they are very good in that field to teach. So subsequently, if you are in our community on WhatsApp, we will let you know when we start. So that's basically what we do. And all these things are free of charge. You don't need to pay 1 naira for it. So we just intend to support you free of charge. Now, who are we? My name is Olomo Kenyi. I am a senior software developer. I'm currently based in the UK. I'm doing my master's in advanced computer science, and I work with Elisan Limited. I've been coding for more than 9 years. In fact, 2023 is my 11th year doing this work. And I've worked on so many enterprise applications. The roles we are going to talk about today, that is not what I do. But because I've worked with these people, I can relate. I've worked with all those people. I can actually have an insight of what they do. But I'm a senior software engineer. Now, our second facilitator is Chidima Agobata. She's also a senior software developer. She works in Veritas University currently in their software engineering department. And she has been coding for over 5 years. She's into React, Node, and she's among the team that are actually building their, I think their school portal, yeah. So what are we going to discuss today? Let's look at our agenda for today. First, we have to understand the basis of software development cycle. I looked at the survey, like the people that registered. I actually saw that most of the people that registered for this webinar, most of them are beginners. So before we go into the roles proper, I would like us to understand the software development life cycle, where those roles where you fit in. Now, we now go into the roles, discuss the non-coding side of tech, and we'll now talk about how to start. Then if you have any questions, you can ask your questions. So now, software development life cycle. I know this might look a little like confusing and this whole thing, but I know why I started with this before going into the role now. Because, like I said initially, people think that when you hear about IT, everything about IT is all about coding. But by the time we break down this development phase, you will see that it's only in two phases that coding, other is involved. Then other phases, other people do that work. Now, what is software development lifecycle? I will explain that with an illustration. Assuming now that I own an IT firm, and all of you here working for me, all of you here listening to me are my employees. And let me say Chiamaka, our content creator who is there, is our client. And she needs a school, how would I put it? She needs a school management system. Now, we'll go and meet her, and we'll talk to her, and we kind of have a conversation with her. That entire process of us meeting her, planning, preparing, building the solution, and delivering the solution back to her. All those phases is what we know, what we call, what we refer to as software development lifecycle. And these phases, it involve requirement analysis. You gather requirements, you plan the project, you design this project, you code and implement, you deploy, you start testing, then you maintain. Now, you see all these phases. I think there are how many? 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 7 of them. Yeah, it is only in this coding and implementation and maintenance. It's only here that programmers, the people who write code, get involved. Requirement analysis, project planning, design and prototyping, deployment, testing. Even though you are programmers test, but it's anybody can do that work. So it's just coding and implementation and maintenance. And it's just for you to see that there are many roles in tech. Most software people are looking for these people. Where are they? It's not just, please, if you come in, kindly mute yourself so that you will not distract us. Thank you. Now, there are approaches to this developing software, but we will, Chiamaka, please mute them because the noise is kind of distracting. Now, we'll have waterfall and agile. I put them in red because that is the only one most software development companies, use, but we are definitely not talking about that today. It's not important because it's going to confuse everybody. Now, let's look at the roles properly. Now, the first role we have here is business analyst. Who is a business analyst? What do they do? What is their responsibility? Now, a business analyst is that person in a software company, because, okay, before I go here, in IT, in tech, we have different stores. We have those who are into hardware, those who are into networking. But today, what we are really looking about, because this is we are just looking at the software part of it and the role involved. That's basically what we are looking at. So now we have business analysts. Business analysts are the people in the company that actually go to the clients, gather those requirements. We want to build a school management system, a school portal that schools will use. It's somebody that will have to document those requirements. It's somebody that will have to interpret those requirements in a way that the technical team will now understand what to do. The programmers will not just jump in and start coding. No, we will sit down in a meeting, we'll look at those requirements properly, we'll analyze it. Then these business analysts will now, because they are, and especially people who study business admin, all these people who studied all these management courses, they are very good with this, because they have the idea, they can now find a way to start improving that system, without any form of coding. So they will find a way, improve the system. They gather so their key responsibility is gathering and analyzing business requirements. They develop business cases. They write user stories. User stories are basically you're just writing the features of that software down. They design the requirement process, they support the product manager, and they still do some research on new technologies. So the skills they possess is, for you to be a business analyst, you must know how to talk, because you must know how to talk to a client. You must know how to, communicate with him in a way he or she will understand what you people want to do with their company. You must know how to persuade them. You have to be very confident, and you have to be passionate about IT, because basically you cannot be gathering requirements and you're, or talking about a particular product that you're not interested in. You have to be passionate about it, and you have to be able to work under pressure, pay attention to details, and multitask, because you're documenting, you're writing user stories, you're doing all that. So it's a whole lot of work, but it's something that most of us here can do. Now, what are the tools they use? Simple tools that many of us here know. Excel or PowerPoint. I'm sure everybody here uses this tool too, one thing or another. Then they now use a tool called Jira. It's very easy to use, a project management tool. Now, in the process of their work, most business analysts, they draw out flowcharts. If you study computer science here, you know what is a flowchart. Even if you don't study, you know what is a flowchart. They kind of use charts to do step by step of how the business process will be. So they use Visio and Lucidchart. Then this particular Bizagi, they use this for business modeling. So these are the basic tools they use. So even if you go for online course or bootcamp, they will teach you how to use these tools, and these tools are very easy to use. Now, if you're in UK, their best salary, if you're working in the UK, so we picked this particular one from Indeed and Glassdoor for both Nigeria and those in the UK. Per year, you can earn 45,000 pounds, or even more or less. Well, please don't look at this money for now. The basic thing is just getting the skills. The skills are very necessary before the money. Then, according to Glassdoor, is another recruiting company too. They earn, if you're a senior business analyst, you can earn up to 500K. That's with add-ons. But if you look at here, you will see base pay. At least you should be, if you're starting, because if you filter, you see that you can filter from here, maybe first you can at least 100 and something K a month, down to 200K. Then if you become a senior business analyst, you're definitely balling. Now we go to product manager. Who is a product manager? A product manager is like the CEO of that product or that software you are building. That software you're building is a product manager's baby. In fact, most product managers in IT firms, they are big people, because they have a whole lot of work to do. They work with, if that product, for instance, let's say Netflix, Amazon, they are product managers. They must be balling, because they've really done an amazing job. If the product of that company is successful today, depends on the product manager. They work with the software engineers, they work with the designers, the marketers, the sales, to make sure that that particular software is successful. So, and they work together with the business analysts. In fact, in some firms, some business analysts also work as product manager. If you remember the first thing I projected, you can see the methodology. You have agile and waterfall. Companies who practice agile methodology to the letter, like very big companies, they break it down to business analysts and product manager. But you see, small companies, startup that might not be able to hire everybody. One person can be doing the work of business analyst and product manager, because if you check their roles, their responsibility, they're almost the same thing. This product manager still work with the business analyst to still go get requirements. Now, but it's the function of the business manager, the product manager, to develop the roadmap of this software. Where do we start? You draw the, okay, fine, we want to build a school management system. And in this school management system, you will have a module that register students, will have a module that register courses, will have a module that register teachers. I'm just using school management system because I know most of you are familiar, we've used it in one way or the other. So now they'll be now they want to say, okay, this school management system, how do we start? What do we do first? Which one is important in the order of priority? Which one does the client need first? Because I cannot do everything at the same time. They will start drawing a roadmap. Okay, we'll do this one first. We do that one second. We do this one third. By the time they create all these project plans, then they can now, they discuss with the stakeholders, with the development team. They can now put up a product roadmap, how they will start. And honestly, product managers, their role is very, very important in a software. In fact, any software development, any IT or software company that doesn't own a product manager or a business analyst, then they are not serious. So that role is very important. So like I said, they conduct marketing research because they want that product to be successful. They are analytical thinkers. They have to do research because your products have to come out best. So they have to start researching about their products and their competitors and how to beat them. So they are strategic thinkers. That's their skills. They have strong communication skills because, and you can type strong here because it's really important that they communicate because they're talking to everybody in the company. They have leadership skills. And I know we women, we are good leaders because we're already leading in our homes. So they are analytical thinkers, they are creative, they focus on their customer, and definitely they should have technical knowledge. They should be invested in that product and do more research about how to improve that product. That this road that it doesn't require coding doesn't mean that you don't have to work hard. You really have to work hard for you to be successful, and you really have to be committed. Now, some of the tools they use, we have Pendo, we have Product Plan, we have Jira, we have Visio. We've talked about Visio and Jira before. All of them are project management tools. Then this Product Plan and Pendo, they are basically tools they use in drawing their roadmap. But before you start this, you just have to get yourself acquainted with how.
It's not audible.
Oh,
I can't hear you, Auntie Cynthia.
I'm sorry, please. Wait, can you guys hear me? Have I been talking to myself all this while?
We
I
can hear
can't hear
you.
you, Auntie. Wait, let me get my AirPod.
We can hear you.
Okay, please, if you can't hear me or if you're confused, you can put it on the chat box, please. And there's somebody there to, to talk to you. Yeah, thank you. Now, when we look at the salary of a product manager, it will be funny to tell you that many product managers earn more than software developers. In fact, most software developers I know, all of them are running to transition to product manager because that is where the main money is. So they earn like, in the UK, they earn like 53K. And in Nigeria, if you're really good, at least, even if for a start, at least you earn like up to 200 and above. At least if you're really, really good, if you're a senior with a high level of experience, you really earn well. Like you can see Glassdoor, because this Glassdoor is like a recruiting company. Most of you know it too. So people, like, they use this, they use AI tools to check salary range of people that come to their websites to advertise for roles. So yeah, so that's basically what product manager, that's what they do. Now, project manager. Now, and there's something, some people confuse product manager and project manager. They are two different roles altogether. Project manager, they now work with the development team. They work with the software engineers. They work with the testers. They work with the UI UX people. They work with the designers. Do you get? Now, they kind of supervise their work. they are the ones that make sure that these developers are doing the work. They communicate directly with the software engineers. In fact, sometimes most developers and project managers, they are not always in good terms, because most project managers are hard on the developers because they are the ones that shake them to get that result out. So, when the product manager has, draw out the roadmap with the business analyst of how to start, this project, the project manager will now pick that roadmap and now start breaking it into tasks. Because the project manager understand his or her team, they know how many developers they have. They know they have like 5 software engineers. They have like 2 testers. They know their roles. They understand their strengths. They understand their weakness. They know, yes, this Uloma is good with back end, Chidema is good with front end. They now start assigning that roles to them one after the other. Okay, Uloma, you will do this. This person, you will do this person, you will do that. And it doesn't end in assigning that roles to them. A project manager, as a project manager, you're supposed to understand that project or that product you're working on very well. Most project managers think that their work is just to assign roles and go and sleep. No, and this is part of the problem some of them, have. You have to understand, because they don't code, they think they're not supposed to understand that project. No, you're even supposed to understand that project more than the software developers, because you're the one that will be explaining it to them. This is what you're going to do. You have to understand that, start assigning tasks to them. And they are the one in charge of, there's something we call stand-up. Stand-up is like 5 minutes meeting or 15 minutes meeting. Most software company have, to keep up to date. You have to know what they do, what they are doing. You have to be on their toes to deliver, because you have a deadline. So now most project managers, they are leaders. You should be a good leader, because managing people, trust me, it's kind of difficult. So you should be a good leader, and you should have strong communication skills. Now, what I usually tell most project managers is find a way to pamper your developers, because sometimes if you're too hard on the people doing the job, they will mess you up, because they don't want people hard on them. So, you find a way to make them happy, to discuss with them. In fact, there's a particular project manager I've worked with, and when we have to do extra time, he will go and tell our boss, oh, they are doing extra time. Let's buy them, let's get them something, let's pay them for extra time. You just have to find a way to, because the most important thing is to get that work done. So you should have a good organization skills, definitely you should know how to resolve conflicts, because we are human beings, so sometimes we might quarrel. So you just have to manage the entire team. You have to make sure things are done very well. So I might not be able to read out all these things. I'm sorry. Read out all these things here, because I will provide a slide for you. You can take a look at it later. So according to Indeed, project managers, they earn like £45,000 in the UK. And you can see that even in Nigeria, their salary is quite high, because they do a whole lot of work. And most of these tools here, they use Jira to, scheduling tasks for their developers, for their software testers. They use VCO too. They use Teams. There are some tools I did not put here. They use Zoho, they use Trello, they use Azure DevOps to scheduling tasks. And the most easiest one that everybody can use is Microsoft Teams. They can use Microsoft Teams to scheduling tasks and to be monitoring what the developers are doing. I think I have to stop here. Chidima, are you here? Yeah. Okay, yeah. Chidima will take up from UI UX designer. So then when she's done, I will come back. I'm still here. So Chidima, you have the floor.
Okay, good evening everyone. Thank you, Uloma, for that wonderful enlightenment. Okay, like she has already said, yeah, we are basically talking about skills that don't require you to code. Because when we start, trust me, when we start with coding, most of you will just leave this place and you won't want to continue. Okay, so the next skill we're talking about is the user interface slash user experience designer. This person is passionate about how the website looks like, right? He's just there to make sure that everything comes out well. Like he's all about the colors, what should be done, the button, the shapes, everything that you see on your front end. Like you go through a website and then you're browsing through a website and you click a button and it behaves in a particular way, or whatever you see, the colors, the red, the pink, and everything, right? He's the one that picks those colors. He makes sure that those colors are not too shouty. You know, there are eye friendly colors and everything. So he's the one that chooses and makes this decision for the company and even for the website. But why is he called the user interface? Most times I feel like it's because this person is passionate about the user. The person is interested in advocating for the user. He wants to make sure that the user is satisfied with whatever product people come out with. He wants to make sure that he's advocating for the user. If that product has a kind of maybe that product is already existing in the market, maybe you want to build your own online shopping app, and there's something called Jumia or Konga, right? So he's passionate about ensuring that you don't make the same mistakes that Konga or Jumia has made in this particular app. So he's passionate about how the user feels about the existing product and how he can bring in his own ideas, right? So the UI UX designer specializes in designing and creating the visual. Trust me, you don't have to code to do this, right? There are already a lot of tools that you can use to achieve what you want without writing one single line of code, and you just have a working interface, right? So most times the user interface, I call them the drawers. They do more of drawing, right? There are a lot of tools they use. They use Figma, they can use Sketch, they can even use Adobe, right? They use these tools to draw the entire face, how it's going to look like. So basically, even people that I know, most people that I know that are user UI UX designers, they didn't study computer science, right? I even know one who is an artist. He studied arts in school, right? So they are basically interested in how the user interface appears, right? When you get into this particular phase, you start seeing that there are colors that should, even if you like those colors may mean different things to different users, right? Here we have that their key responsibilities is researching and understanding user needs, right? They have to understand what the user wants. Like I said, they are user advocates. They create prototypes and wireframes to demonstrate functionalities and look of the products. This creating this prototype and this big grammar here is just in the tools, right? You can use Figma or Sketch or whatever. You just need to learn how to navigate through those tools. It's just like learning how to use Google to search, right? It's just a user interface, so you can actually find your way around it. They also design the visual elements of the products, including color schemes, topography, layout, and graphics. Like I already said, right? They are the ones that choose the colors. They make those decisions, and trust me, these decisions are not by accident. You have to be passionate about why you want this color. There should be a reason why you want it, not just because I like red, I just like red. No. Also, they conduct usability testing to ensure that the product is easy to use and provides user experience. So this is the part where the user experience comes in. So after they finish with their drawing and everything, they take this product that they have designed. They just drew it. It's a complete website or a complete app, but they drew it. So they will take it to the users and they are like, okay, what do you think about this? Right? Play around with it. What do you think about the colors? Okay, is it difficult to operate? Are you finding it difficult to apply for? Maybe is a job application website, right? So you are like, okay, is it difficult for you to be able to apply for a job? This person to be beside you by your right hand, you know, and they are the ones that make sure that the user is satisfied with the app. So they tend to come back with all the users critics, and then they go ahead to implement those changes, right? So now, like we already heard, the key responsibilities, I've not mentioned anything like coding. So now there are things that are core to this particular specialization. And those things for me are the most important. They are the soft skills. Here we have them as skills, but they are the skills they will determine how far you can go, right? Because there are things that you cannot buy. You can actually learn how to do it, but if you don't have the soft skills or these skills, you wouldn't be able to go far. Hence, the skills for this particular specialization, we have the user research. You have to be patient. You be able to research about the user. You see, when you finish drawing your app, you tend to like share it with the user, and then you are interested in how they feel about the app. Sometimes if you are not someone who is passionate about how other people feel, right, you may not be able to excel. Wireframing and prototyping, right? That's basically what they do, and they do it with these tools that we already highlighted here. And also visual communications. This is like your ability to communicate with visuals. Visuals can be images, videos, your ability to tell a stories with visuals without talking, right? Once you are able to draw or write down something, you pen down something, whoever sees it has understood the story, right? And then usability testing. You should be able to, find out how usable is this app, so that it's not something that you just go and reinvent the wheel, or you get to find out how the user is happy or sad about the app and whatever the problem is, so that you can communicate this down in your sketch. You also will be able to collaborate. If you are someone that don't like collaborating, yes, this part is not for you. UI UX, you need to collaborate. You need to work hand in hand with other people. It's not something that you can actually just work in isolation, because at some point you may want this and other people don't want it. So basically, for you to excel, you have to collaborate, because it's in collaboration that you can get the best out. When you guys come together and then you try to make decisions on what it should look like. Then attention to details is very, very important. A UI UX designer is interested in every detail, every full stop, every comma. Why is it there? Right? It's not just by accident. Oh, I want to put this there. Oh, let it just be there. He's interested in that every detail and why it should be there. Also, continuous learning. Yes, because for every profession, I think continuous learning should be there. But for UI UX, you have to keep learning. You have to keep learning, because things come and design come and they phase out. The thing that was trending yesterday may not be trending today. Yeah, and when an app comes in, right, you find out that users are very happy about the app and everything, but at some point, maybe in the future, you find out that that app is no longer in vogue, is now outdated. So you have to continuously learn, so that you can improve on yourself and improve on what you are offering the users. And then you have to be creative in problem solving. Yes, even the project managers need to be creative in problem solving. Okay, so UI UX is a lucrative skill. Yeah, for the UK, they said it's 46,200 and something. Yes, it can be more. It can be more, right? These things are just they are, I think they are estimates from what people have said and what majority have been saying. But I know of a UI UX guy here itself in Nigeria that earns over 700,000, right? It just depends on how much you have invested in the skill and how much you can do. But trust me, this particular specialization does not need so much, if you're someone that is meticulous about color, you like design, like I feel like even all these people that are into interior design, you know, they are always all about how they look. They want to make sure that everything is blending in, like a perfectionist. Yes, UI UX is for you. Glassdoor says 300,000 per month. Yes. So the next skill we are going to be looking at is a software tester. So a software tester is responsible for testing software applications to ensure they meet specified requirements and are of high quality. Sometimes when you join a company, maybe a software company, even if you are a software developer, sometimes they want you to start with software testing. Maybe you are joining for a particular product, right? So maybe you are going to be building the back end, you know, the coding part, right? But notwithstanding, they may want you to start with the software testing part. Why I think so, why I feel they do that is because they want you to understand the app. As a tester, it gives you more understanding of the app. You get to know where what the app is all about, why the app, why are they building it, what are they adding to the app, right? And trust me, anybody can be a software tester. If I say, okay, I have an app that is going to allow people to shop online, and I say, oh, Owochioma, please help me to test this app. Trust me, you can test it. You just put yourself in the shoe of someone who wants to maybe shop online, right? And then you start trying to shop. So when you click on a button, it goes to carts, and you document what you tested, right? And for every functionality you test, you can just check. It's just like maybe I'm cooking and I say, help me test the soup. Anybody can test it. You test it and you say, oh, there's salt. Oh, you need to add pepper. Oh, you need to add crayfish, right? So anybody can do software testing, and you don't need to code. You don't need to know how to code to test. So now the key responsibilities are creating relevant documents such as test plans, test cases, and test scripts. So these are basically the test plan is like what you should test for, right? And then the test cases are the examples you are using to test, right? And then you can equally write test scripts. Then we also have software tester conducts various types of testings, such as functional testing and performance testing, right? He can even test for non-functional, he can even check non-functional testing. But these terms that should not scare you, right? Functional testing is just to test how the functions that were specified for that particular software are being implemented. So if we say that this app should help customers to buy things online, so that's the function of the app, and we want to make sure that the user is able to successfully buy things online, right? And then we check for the performance. Is it when he's trying to when he's trying to pay or move to cart, the system start hanging? These are things that you observe, and then you are able to document them. Then you ensure that the software is built to meet required quality standard, right? So here now, you are like the main guy that is making sure, in fact, anything that passes through the software tester and he says it is okay, then the company takes it like that is okay. Trust me, in production, maybe when they start using the software in real life and then they find out that, oh, this thing that the software tester said is not working, that is working, and here now is not working. Do you know that they will not even hold the developers accountable? It's the software tester they will hold, because he's the one that says, yes, this is good, I've tested it. So it's no longer in the hands of the, if anything that the software tester says is not working, I don't like it, it can't pass, it doesn't pass, right? So he's the one that ensures that the software is built to meet required quality standard. And then he identifies and reports bugs and defects, and working with developers to resolve issues. Yes, the software tester can also help in like narrating what the problem is, And he could even possibly suggest a way that he thinks it can be done to work better. So they provide software improvements recommendation. So now, straight to the main points that I even like the most is the soft skills. I already said it. These skills are not things that you can buy, right? Anybody can learn software testing. Anybody can learn project management. But these skills are very important, because if you are not the kind of person that pay attention to details, how are you going to do it? Are you going to go and learn how to pay attention to details? It's difficult. But naturally, we already have talents, or our will I say something that we are known for, right? So if you're someone who pays attention to detail, yes, you can. Software testing should be for you. Communication skills, you're able to communicate without trying to make the other person feel bad, or because as a software tester, you are trying to tell the programmer or whoever has developed a particular thing that he didn't do it well, or this is not working, or I don't think this is the best way. So for that reason, you have to make sure that you are able to communicate. Communication skill is not just I'm talking, you can talk, right? Communication is all about how am I going to say this thing to this person without sounding annoying, right? And then you have to have analytical and problem solving skills. Yes, because sometimes you help them to solve the problem. Sometimes you help them to suggest the best way that the problem can be solved. Time management is very important, because for a software that you're trying to develop, there are usually time constraints and time stamps. So they want this particular feature to be finished within this particular time. So you have to be able to manage your time. It's not that when they give you when you are supposed to test something, you've not done it, and then the software developers will use you as excuse that, oh, he has not tested it, so I don't know whether it's working or not. And then you have to be able to do teamwork. Yes, you have to work as a team, because you always work with developers and front-end developers, back-end developers, and whoever is in charge. Yes, she has already talked about Jira. It's one of the tools that software testers use. They use the tool to document whatever they've tested, and then they use Selenium. Selenium is a software testing tool that you can use to run automated tests, but that's not what we're interested in now. Okay, so for Indeed says that over there in the UK they get over 44,000 pounds per year. That's a lot of money, right? And like I said, most of these things are just estimates. You could get even more as a software tester. Yes. He gets 800,000. Okay, so that we can use to build websites that we don't have to write code, right? You don't have to code, but you have a website and it's up and running. So a no-code web design platform is a software tool that allows users to create websites and web applications without the need for coding. So coding, I don't think is a difficult task, but then coding is something that you have to make up your mind. Some days you get happy and some days you are very, very sad, because you may be working on something and you have an error that you have been battling with. And then if there is a way that you can do these things without writing any code, and you get the same result as someone who has been writing codes and has been breaking his head and has been not sleeping, he has been doing a lot, and you can get the same result without writing any single line of code. Trust me, all of us like the easy way, right? So these tools include WordPress, Wix, Shopify. They are platforms that you can easily learn how to use. Even Figma that UI UX designers use. You can also use it for web design without code. So after drawing everything you want to draw on UI UX on your Figma, you just click a button and you say Figma should transform this drawing to code for you, and Figma just writes the code, and what you have is exactly what you get once Figma writes the code for you. But trust me, all you did is just to draw it, right? So indeed says that software people that have this skill, that's the ability to work with WordPress, these are graphical user interfaces. They are just like click and drop, right? You want to create a website, you just click a button and you drop, click a button and you drop, and you are able to have a complete website. So they said you can get over 30,000 pounds per year in the UK, right? And then Glassdoor says that you can get over 135,000 even for a start. Yes. And guess what you are doing? You are just dragging and dropping. So there are skills that are also important for this web design, guys. You have to be patient. I strongly feel that people who are very patient excel in this particular part. You have to be patient because sometimes you are trying to make something work. You are trying to click on a button and it's not working, or you are finding a way of how you can make this button move, or how you can picture this what you want, because actually what you have is just an interface with buttons, right? So you have to be patient. You have to be able to you have empathy too, right? Because you need empathy to be able to relate with whoever you are working for or working with, because most times when you are designing a web for someone, the person keeps changing. The requirements can change at any time, so you have to also be patient and also learn how to manage your time, right? So yeah, basically most of them are very easy. All of them are very easy, but you have to find where your strength lies, and that place where your strength lies is now that part we call your skill, the skill that is needed for that particular specialization. Yeah, thanks, Uloma.
Okay, I want to add something in this web design too. If you go to visionbling.com, that's our website, it was built with WordPress. And it will shock you that we built that site within 1 week. Do you get? And the interesting part of this particular skill is that most people that have this skill, they just do freelancing. Most of them don't even like working for companies. If you have this skill, you can be doing I don't want to exaggerate, at least 5 to 10 websites every month, and you'll be collecting good money. So that's I honestly, I don't use WordPress because, and I will say something soon, in as much as this is good, it still has its own limitation. The limitation is that there are some level of customization a client might want to do, you won't be able to do, because you don't have the knowledge of coding, and two, you're not the one that wrote that built WordPress. But any dynamic website that you just need to change the content, any simple website, even e-commerce websites, you can use WordPress. E-commerce, I mean all these likes of Jumia, but the only thing is that you might pay for the templates, because they will give you a template. You will install that template. After installing the template, you now start editing the content to suit what you have. So you're not writing any code. So for Vision Bling, what we did was to get a template that we like, we installed it, and we started editing it. Even because this is my first time of using WordPress, and when I was like, this is the easiest thing I've ever seen in my life. Don't need to write any code, and it's so interesting. So the good thing with this, you just learn it. This skill is very easy to pick. Do you know that the way you use your MS Word and all that, you can pick this skill as. But that's even why, because I really added it, because I know some people might be very interested too. And you can do this from your, even if you're working, this is an additional skill. Shopify is basically used for designing e-commerce websites, and they have different tools that you can use. Then WordPress give you leverage to do plugins. Like if that particular template you downloaded can't give you everything, you can now start looking for plugins. There are some people, their work is just to write plugin. They sell some and put in WordPress. You just download that plugin, edit it, it gives you the feature. So you can be designing websites for people, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just place yourself online, market yourself, tell people this is what I do. And another thing, your Git profile, it has to be up to date. You know, put all the work you've done there. Place yourself online. The way people, influencers market themselves online, put yourself, tell people I design websites, and you can be making good money from this. Yeah. So how do you start? Now, like Chidinma said, as in she's true, and I'm happy she really stressed on this, you have to discover what you're passionate about. Like, you know, many people ask me that, many people ask that question, which one do I do? Should I do project management? Is it good? Should I do software testing? Is it good? Should I do this one? No, don't allow anybody, because, you know, especially some people are very good. If you're watching YouTube videos, they'll tell you, oh, do this one, is paying $1 million. You, as a product manager, you earn $100,000 in a year, and you now go use because of money and go and jump into something you don't even have any business jumping into. You have to ask yourself question. After this webinar, sit down, do your own research. Yes, we've talked, but as a human being, you have to do your own research. Look at these skills. Where am I good at? Which one can I do? Okay, I can do this one. Okay, where do I, how do I now start with that one? Another mistake people make is that they want to be everywhere. You want to be project manager, you want to be software tester, you want to design websites, you want to do all of them. I tell people, have a niche. Pick one skill, and pick one role. Perfect yourself in that role. If it is a developer, software developer you want to be, fine, do that. I'm a software engineer. I write ASP.NET, C# and Java. Now, they are coming in with Node, React, and it's making waves everywhere. I just told myself, you see, I'm not moving. It's not even moving me. I must stick to what I know and perfect in that skill. That's that. So just pick one and, you know, perfect, because the truth is that no company will hire you, even if you have 30 certifications, without having that skill. No, even recruiters will ask you, what can you do? Which project? In fact, here in the UK, some people that are even working in most IT firms, some of them are not even graduates, especially the British people. You know, us black them can access our certificate and all that. But you have to have that required skill. They'll ask you, which company have you worked with? Okay, what is your profile? What have you done in the past? In your interviews, technical questions they will be asking you to know whether you have that experience. Certification is good, I'm not condemning, but it's good, but you need to have that skill. So it should be, and if you are not passionate about a particular role, if you're not passionate about, you're just doing it because other people are doing it, I am sorry, it will be very difficult to succeed in that thing. There's another thing making wave now, you know, data science, data analytics, data analysis, you know, most people are jumping into that without even asking questions, without even asking themselves if it is really what they want. So it's very crucial to sit down. Don't be in a haste to jump in because you're seeing money. Don't be in a haste. Just ask yourself, keep asking yourself that question. Do I like this? Okay, if I want to be a project manager, can I do this? Then when you're sure of what you want, when you decide this is what I want, please just go for it. The first thing is to, another way to, as in, when you've decided what you're passionate about, what you want, then you can start. Either you take online courses or you go for a boot camp. Now, I will tell you the pros and cons of both of them. Online courses, you can see affordable online courses, cheap online courses, you know, that you can afford, that you can pay for. In Nigeria, you can see some Udemy courses as cheap as like 4, 5K, 10K, 10,000 naira. Do you understand that you can go for? like some people have advised to take some courses in Udemy. They'll come back to me and tell me, "Oh, Loma, please, I can't really do this because sometimes they get bored." You know, it's an online course, so you don't get to interact with your tutor. You just listen. After listening, they give you quiz, and at the end of the day, you will they will give you certificate of completion, which is very okay. But if you're somebody that is very committed, because I too, I take online courses too, not even in these ones that they pay. I just go to YouTube, take an online tutorial, learn what I want to learn and move on. So if you're really committed about it and it's really what you want to do, Udemy has really good courses. Coursera, with Coursera, they partner with universities. And I was just even learning today from them that with Coursera, there's, if you apply as a student, they can, give you discounts. They can give you discounts, and I think their courses are really, really intense. LinkedIn Learn is also very good. I went through it yesterday, and they have really, really good courses. These people, they go in depth, they teach well, but most complaint people have is that they are bored, it's not interactive. Who do I ask questions? Because sometimes you might be confused and you need some people to ask questions and guide you, but that is why you're here. If you like plural sites too, I've done some courses. I did a course in ASP.NET and even C# on plural sites. It's really nice. Their tutors, they are very good, and I completed the course. It's really, really nice. So now that's online course. With bootcamp is more expensive. But with bootcamp, they will train you, like you can do 3 months with them, some people 6 months, some people even 1 year. Some people offer free. There's the one I learned of, I think ALX or something, Africa. Chamaka, what was that one you told me about? I think ALX Africa, they are free, but
ALX
you really,
Africa.
yes, ALX Africa, but you have to be committed. You have to give them like 40 hours of your time. Then these ones I wrote here, 10 analytics, I've attended their master classes, and trust me, they are really good. I recommend it for people. Then high impact career, I've attended their master classes too. They are good. They are on Twitter. They're everywhere on Twitter. Like, they are really good. They do boot camp. But the thing is that the price is quite, like high impact career, they charge as much as £600. You do 3 months with them. They help you package your CV and all that. The courses they do is they do product management, they do project management, they do business analyst, and cybersecurity too. Yeah. Then analytics, they focus on business analyst and Power Platform. We did not cover that. That's a different topic for another day. They are really, really good. And one thing good about bootcamp is that when you're done with them, they will kind of give you, there's something we call graduate training. You do like a graduate training for 1 month. And if you do well with them, trust me, whatever they will teach you, it will be as if you've had an experience for like 1 year in the field or 2 years. Within that 3 months, if you're serious, if you're committed, it will be as if you've had, like, in fact, some people work in itself, they won't even have the kind of experience you have. But the only thing is, I know is expensive. That's one major thing. But when people ask me, I tell them, please go for bootcamp. Bootcamp is better to me. But if you don't have that money, you can start with online courses. Even if you don't have money to pay for any of them, there are so many free online courses for 2 hours. There are many online courses on YouTube that you can just go watch and pick 1 or 2 things from there. You just have to start from somewhere. If you don't have money, just start from somewhere. Just show that interest. Start and be committed, because this thing can be, discouraging at times. That is why we said, if you've started any course, please indicate, join our mentee group. Let us know what your challenges are. Let us work with you. Let us assist you. Let us know where we can come in and help you. So that, because at the end of the day, what we want is, we just want you to succeed in this field. We just want you to succeed. So, yeah, we compiled some links. We will share this slide. Some links in Udemy and LinkedIn, some of their links. And I forgot to mention, Currently, if you sign up with Udemy, they give you 7 days trial free. So if you're sharp enough, you can just sign up, do 1 or 2 courses with them before your trial expire, and you will move on from, like, that you've done something. Then with LinkedIn Learning, they give you 30 days free trial. My sister, before 30 days, if you're sharp enough, you can take like 2 courses in any field before they can start charging you. And subsequently, if we see how committed people are, we can assist financially if you're very serious about, because we don't want to invest on people that are not serious. We want to invest on people that we know that after investing in you, you will show us results. Like, we will see that, we'll be happy that yes, you've succeeded. So yeah, this is basically what we have.
Okay, so Udaman, let me add something to
Okay.
the Coursera. So
Okay.
with Coursera, when you find a course, there's always this part where you find apply for financial aid, right? So when you click on that apply for financial aid, there is a form you are meant to fill. There are some questions that you find there. They'll ask you if you are working. Trust me, when you say you are working, they'll ask you how much is your income based per year, per annum, right? So if you maybe honest enough to say you earn like $100,000 per year, they will not give you the financial aid. And if you say you're working class and then you are able to get a lot of money, they won't give you the financial aid. But as we are all trying to help ourselves to learn, right? So you can just click on it and say that you are not working, maybe a student. You can pick the student option and then you fill in a particular amount that you could be getting as stipend from your parents or something per year. And then you fill the form, write the essay why you think that course is important to you and what is going to change in your life. By the time you fill the form finish and you submit, there is this 14 days that you are going to get. After 14 days, they will give you a feedback on whether you have been awarded the course or not. But on the platform, I think we are going to also walk you through on how you can apply for Coursera courses. But I want only those who have tried to apply, right? Try to apply and go through the financial aid. And then if you have any challenges there, you can report and we can help you. Thank you.
Yeah, Chitima, thank you very much. So now you can ask your questions. Please ask your questions, guys. We are here to answer you. Okay. I think I'll have to unmute.
Okay, I think if you raise your hand up, I'll unmute you to ask your question.
Okay. Unmute Amalora first, please. No, unmute yourself, please. Unmute yourself and ask your question, please.
Unmute yourself, Amalu.
Yeah, for the person that is saying you need the recording, yes, you can download it from our website. It will be available from tomorrow. We'll put the link. We'll put it up in the group so you can download. Don't worry, you can download it. Please, if you want to ask a question, wait.
Amalura, unmute yourself, please.
Unmute yourself and ask your question. Yeah, we can hear you.
Thank you.
and invite me into this person.
Hello, good evening, Miss Okenyi and Chiamaka. Thank you so much for this for your time. I really appreciate. Please,
You're welcome.
thank you. I want to ask one question. I'm seeking to. Is there any kind of all those kind of software things that can help to enhance academic reports or academic research?
You can ask your question. We can't hear you.
I said kind of way, ne? Like what you are teaching today. Is there anyone that
Mhm.
can help to enhance academic research or academic um, like
Are you a lecturer?
um pro sort of
Okay, so
I'm,
you
I'm
need a tool
currently
that will help you.
yes, I'm currently a PhD student on civil engineering. So and I'm looking at using a methodology that that will create a model at the end. So I'm looking for something fancy, something new that I can incorporate into what I'm doing. Okay. So is there any sort of software that can enhance my kind of work? I don't know if I
Okay,
need
You
some.
mean
now,
software or career?
no, wait. I think let me. So let me. I think you are looking for. If I get you correct, you're carrying out a research because I'm also a student too. You're
Okay,
carrying
yes,
out a research, and
yes.
you need a software that can help you carry
Mm,
out your research effectively,
exactly.
right?
In a fancy way,
Okay,
in a modern way, you know.
in a way. Okay,
Yeah.
first, it depends on the kind of research you're carrying out. But normally now, what is trending that can help you with anything that you're doing for now is, ChatGPT.
Try again. Try what?
Chat GPT.
Chat GPT. Okay, I've
Yeah,
not
we
heard
call
of
it
it.
GPT.
Okay.
Okay, now ChatGPT is an AI tool built by OpenAPI. You know,
Mm-hmm.
it helps you to carry out research. It helps you to do your work. As a programmer, I use it often. Even write code. So
Okay.
if there is any research or any kind of tool you're looking for, you can go to ChatGPT is an enhanced Google. That is the way I will
Okay.
put it. Do you understand? So you can go there, ask your question. Even some of, like, if you're doing any research, like now, if I'm doing any research, I first of all go there and I use that tool effectively to do my research. Or
Okay.
since this question is not basically based on the career we are talking about here, it's just a tool to assist you. And you know me, we can discuss this, or we can talk offline and we can talk about this very well so I can understand what you're talking about.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay. With regards to the lecture today,
Mm-hmm.
um, the software, um, what is it called? The check one, the one that that requires skills to look at the gaps, the
The
holes
software
in
tester.
exactly. I think
Mhm.
that one matches my kind of perception more.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
I think
Okay.
I'm that kind of person that find out things. Like I'm a state CID kind of person. So I think
Yeah.
that matches my kind of perception of
Okay.
it, if I may say yes. So if there is any when going forward, if there is any kind of assistance that uh, I will get from improving on that, I will really appreciate. Thank you so
Okay.
much.
No
Yeah,
problem. We are here for you. Thank you so much, dear. Yeah.
yes, yeah.
Mm. So
Any other
questions,
question?
questions, questions. I checked the slide though. I saw 2 questions there. What are the best skills for a pharmacist aside from Upwork? What other freelancing sites can I earn from? Okay, best skill for a pharmacist. Like we've discussed today, it all depends on you, what you're passionate about. It doesn't really matter what your background is. So pick anyone you feel that your skill set match and start. Now, as for freelancing sites, we have, apart from Upwork, we have Fiverr. Then if you still want to kind of do remote jobs, you can, join all these community like Andela. But to join it, you have to be up there. Andela, Turing, okay, Tunga Developers is basically for developers. There are other ones. If you're in the group, I will research for more and put it up in the group. Yeah. Okay, which IT career options can have a great edge working with international companies, them as a freelancer? So far as an high-tech job, anyone you feel like, yeah, you can do, you have an edge already, especially because some of these roles, they are very, very, like, they are down here in the UK, you see them, most tech companies need these roles. Then for freelancer, yes, if you keep, I can't tell you for sure that if you start applying freelancer role for outside the country, it will come immediately. No, because even when I was in Nigeria, I kept applying. It was very difficult to get. So it's like I said, but another way, another shortcut to it, if you join all these if you join Upwork, Fiverr, there are other ones too, I can't remember their name now. Then if you join Andela community, Turing community, they have recruiters there that can be matching you with, with clients that fits your skill. So you can try them out too.
Okay, there is someone that asked a question in the comments. She
Mhm.
said, Owodoma, how does someone know which path to go, having zero knowledge on all of these skills?
So, okay, now I'll answer this your question with another interesting question. So, all the skills we've listed here, like, there is none that your your skill set match. Okay, if you're talking about having zero knowledge about tech, I get it. Is very, very like, there are so many people with zero knowledge about tech and they are still, like, they transitioned and they are still doing well. Like I said, oh, each and every one of them looks interesting. Yes, but like, I will advise you, the mistake you will make is if you want to do all of them. Do you understand? If you want to do all of them, it's really going to be difficult for you because you can't. The truth of the matter is that you have to start from somewhere, and if you start there, definitely you will be growing. So just look at all of them. But my first advice is don't look at it, okay, take anyone that is too technical. And everything we've discussed here, none of them are technical, none of them require coding. You can pick IT project management if you're that kind of person that you know that you have a good leadership skill. You can pick software testing. There's something they must say that most people who join companies, they tend to start with software testing. And software testing is quite, to me, that one is a bit easier. It's not a managerial role, and you can just start from testing software, finding out bugs and defects in that software. Gradually you'll be understanding. But you can start, taking online courses in them. But what you can do, apart from what we said here today, you can also go to YouTube, do more research, because you might be confused. Do more research on your own. Watch you can type how to be a project manager, how to do this, how to become a project manager, how to become a product manager, how to become a software tester, business analytics for beginners. Just check all of them. Do your own research and find out the one you are passionate about. Because I wouldn't want to tell you, do this one and you go and do it and be like, Loma said that it's this one I must do and I don't like it. No, it has to be the one you want. Any more questions before we wrap up? No question. Okay.
Hold on, please.
Okay.
Create a base.
Justin Anazo. Okay. I'm in a very extremely noisy place, but I wish to ask my question by typing. Is this webinar only for women? Now, Vision Blink, our aim is to empower and support women. You can join our webinar and get to know, pick one or two things there. But the people we plan to mentor are women. Why women? Because the tech world, if you check, it is male dominated. The ratio is 5:1. 5 is for male, 1 is for female. And most times, the people I always work with, they're mostly guys. I don't know. Now I'm happy that many women are joining, are transitioning to tech. So we just want to get more women involved. So that is why. But you can join our webinar and learn one or two things, whether you're a guy or a woman. But for the things we offer, our trainings, our mentorship session, we are basically doing it for women. That's just it, to encourage more women. Yeah. What is the difference between a product manager and a project manager? Now, if you listened when we spoke about this today, we said a product manager is like the CEO of that software. A project manager is the one that makes sure that product is successful. A product manager works with the designer, the marketers, the salespeople, the software engineers. Hello? Somebody called my name.
No, I said works with the customer representative.
Yeah. All of them work with the customer, all of them, to make sure that that software is successful. A product manager also works with the business analyst in drafting the requirements to make sure that that product, meets the customer's needs, and that product is successful. That product is what they want. A product manager research, like if you have a product like you're working on, maybe a product like Uber, you have to research about Uber, look at what they've done, and know how your own product will beat that product. To a product manager, that product is his baby. He's the CEO of that product. Now, for a project manager is the person that is in charge of the development team. A project manager is the one that manages the development team. A project manager is the one that makes sure the software engineers are doing their work and they are meeting up with deadline. A project manager foresees as in, if there's a risk that will, like throughout that development process, if there's something that will go wrong, he's the one that will detect it. For instance, if he looks at the scope of the project and draws out his project plan and realizes that the software engineers that he has in his team, they are not, like, maybe if it's a very big project and he has only 2 software engineers, he's the one that will raise alarm and say, with only 2 software engineers, we cannot meet up with the deadline. Please, what can we do? He is the one that sets up stand-up meeting every morning and gets to know, what are my developers, what are my testers, what are my UI UX people, what are they doing? So you see the difference. So in hierarchy of things, a product manager is up here and is kind of a boss to a project manager. So it's higher. I am a fashion designer. How can I successfully circulate my project around the world? Can SNTV be helpful? Social media is there.
Product.
Okay, what sort of products? So he's a fashion designer. Is it the way
That
you
means
talk
the
of,
designs.
is it talk of getting more customers to view your products, or is it distributing in terms of logistics? Please, if you can ask your question properly, let me get you. Because if it's in terms of circulating your products, like you make clothes around the world, want to get more customers, I think where many people sell their product now is online on social media. So you have to understand how to use all those social media tools, create good content, and I know that Instagram and Facebook they have this boost, right, Chamaka? Chamaka, you should be the one to answer this question because this is really what you do.
Okay. Kelechi, you're asking how you can circulate your product around the world. If it's in terms of getting more clients, it's mostly on social handles, social media. So you have to check the social media that you feel is favorable for your particular type of business. So now it's fashion designing. Fashion designing thrives more on Instagram and Facebook. If you go to Twitter, it's not it may not fly there. So it's somewhere like Instagram, Facebook, where people always go to search for maybe designs. Then from there, you have to build your audience, your followers. Sometimes the followers are not important, but then you have to build your credibility as well. If you're online, you have to show that yes, you can be trusted because of all that is going on the social network, because of the scam and all that. So there are steps you have to follow so that your designs could circulate, and then you need patience, and you also need to learn a few things about sponsored ads, to sponsor your designs so that you could go far. Creating of videos is also very important nowadays. Your videos go farther than just putting up pictures. So just part of this are just like you have to have a strategy, a planned strategy towards getting your product to fly, to go, to get to what you want.
Kelechi, after this, you can chat Chiamaka. Trust me, she's a very good digital content creator. She's good at what you can chat her so both of you can talk more. Like, she knows all this social media thing more than me. I'm just a software engineer. I'm not really good with social media marketing. Yeah, it's not my area of specialization. Okay, good evening. I have a question. In the university, we are introduced to different topics like programming languages, how to model software and designing. Wow, that's nice. Prototype, you said we are meant to specialize in an aspect. So does that mean we are meant to choose our area of interest from now? Okay, now Olivia and Ibogo. In school, they teach you everything. And why do they teach you everything? It's for you to have an idea of everything, and now decide on which one to do. So as a student, I will use myself for example. When in my first year and second year, that was when I realized that I want to, in fact, before I even entered university, I already know what I like. I knew I wanted to be a software developer because I have a mentor. I have an elder sister who is also a software engineer. So I already know what I wanted, and I joined her sometime. So at this period, I will just tell you, I don't know if you've done your IT, but if you've not done your IT yet, or if you've done your IT, the best bet, like I always tell people, find a place, an IT placement where you can learn. Don't use your IT period to go and while away your time and be doing, find that if to attach in that software company, or because this is a learning phase for you. When you're now done with school, because it was when I finished my IT, I worked with a software company. I realized that I did my project in that IT company. That was when I knew this is what I want to do. it was clear. So even when I graduated from school, even when I was still serving, I was still following that path. I knew, yes, I want to do this. So now, most times when people go for IT, especially if you're studying computer science, I remember some of my colleagues then, they either joined the networking department, or like people who do, all these people that do Cisco, and I don't really know much about that. So I will not say what I don't know. Like, the people that now they have the DevOps part. So you can, but because if you go to, they will ask you, where do you, so you want to specialize. Sometimes some company are so good enough that they will tell you, okay, you work with this department for 2 months, you work with that department for 2 months, you work with that. So before your 6 months elapsed, you must have worked with all departments. And that was what they did to me. So after working with those, I realized that this is what I wanted to do. So now, those things they are teaching you in school, please, if your school, they are teaching you different programming language, I don't know the programming languages they are teaching you, but if you can chat me after this, send me a DM, we can talk more, since it's software engineering that you want to do, because what we did today doesn't have anything to do with coding. But if I want to know the programming languages they are teaching you, how to model software and design prototypes. How to model software and design prototypes it has to do with UI UX, because for you to design a software, you have to build a prototype of that software first. You have to either do the wireframe or use Figma to do that. So this will now be an eye opener, so that when you graduate, you won't be struggling to decide what to do. Your school has studying computer science in school have given you that privilege to explore all of them. And now when you graduate, you can now decide on which area to specialize. You might not make that decision now. You can make that decision when you're done with school, when you've gone for your IT, when you've tested all waters, and you can now say, okay, fine, this is what I want to do. So I hope this really helps you or guides you. So you can chat me up
She
so that
said that she's in 100 level, that she
oh,
hasn't done
yeah.
any IT.
I
So
can't even read.
she's at no, her own comment is last right now.
Okay. Now I've not done IT, I'm just in 100 level. So my dear, there is no rush. Just learn what they are teaching you in school. There is no, we're still in 100 level. Just keep learning what they are teaching you in school. Understand what they are teaching you in school. When you go for your IT, or before you go for your IT, depends on which school are you in, please. If you can, it depends on what they are teaching you in school. I hope the programming language they are teaching you it's not like some of us that they taught Q basic in school that nobody is using now. Oh, Veritas University. You have Dimma there now. Chidimma is in Veritas University, so you are in a good hand. So, depends on the programming language they are teaching you. So, you just take your time, no rush. That you don't have to rush into anything. When you go for your IT, you can now start making that decision. But if it is really you want to become a software engineer, please look for a good IT firm. It might be difficult to find, but just find a good IT firm that you can attach yourself to. Attach yourself to their software department and learn. That you see that 6 months IT period, it's really a good defining moment for many students. It's what really changed my life, because I was lucky. I did my IT in Sidmark Technologies in Lagos, and the software developers there, they were really good. They really helped me, and they really trained me they really tried for me. I can't talk about my success story today without mentioning those people there, because they really helped us. So just that is the way you can just you can start. So I hope what I've said it's really helped you. Yeah. Any more questions before we wrap up?
Hello, Udom. I
Yeah.
want to add something. I want to add
Yeah.
something to that, right? So most
Okay.
times when you're in school, they give you a lot and you tend to get confused, right?
Yeah.
But this is where that passion we've been talking about comes in. You have to look for that area that you are passionate about. Even if it's about all the programming language, maybe you get to learn Java, JavaScript, Python, and all those. Which one appeals to you most, right? And when you find that one, join a community, network with other people. Get a mentor, and that's what we are doing here now, right? So that we can walk you hand in hand through that path. Just like Ulama has said, she had that mentoring when she went for her IT, right? So just pick one specialization that this is the one that appeals to me most. Thank God you've been exposed to a lot of them. So it will be easier for you to take a personal decision, right? Yeah, thanks.
Thank you, Dima. That's something I'm lost, especially when I want to do some things by practicing. Yeah, Kelechi, yeah, okay. It happens to most of us. Even me right now, there are some things I'll be watching on YouTube and I'll still be lost. I'll be like, how will I do this thing? But it takes a whole lot of patience. You can't get that thing in one day. Rome was not built in a day, like they say. So you just have to keep learning, keep practicing. You don't have to relent. You don't have, because this is not something that you knew from birth. No, you're just learning it. You have to keep learning, you have to keep practicing. You can join our mentee group so that we understand where you're having your challenges. And sometimes, most of us, sometimes we watch wrong videos. We have to even be sure that the video you're watching is giving you the right thing. Sometimes there are so many things happening on YouTube. There are so many things happening there. They'll just be feeding you with wrong information. You'll just be swallowing everything. So that is why sometimes I don't really, because when it comes to Udemy and Coursera and all those courses, plural sites, link, their tutors they've assessed them. It's not everybody that can teach. The only reason why I can say YouTube, because if you don't have money to pay for this course, but like I said now, LinkedIn Learning, they are doing 30 days free course, as in they are doing 30 days before you start paying. Udemy, they are doing 30 days. Please, in this slide, there are some links there, and before I put up those links, I looked at their course module. You can take them up. Because so many people are on YouTube, nobody's vetting their content. They can be putting out anything there. So just key into this, their 30 days free trial, 7 days free trial, and start from there. And like I said, please be very patient. It's not something like you will make so many mistakes. Sometimes it can be discouraging. Sometimes you'll be like, I don't want to do this thing. Why am I even stressing myself? But it's because what you are passionate about this, because you want to learn it, and because you mean well for yourself in the future, because you want to stand out there in the industry, because you want to have that skill, you are not giving up, and we won't let you give up. So yeah. More questions, please. If there's no, okay.
And also, Kelechi, if you still want some links to some YouTube channels that talk about Figma, you can send me a DM. I did a bit of UI UX design, so I have channels that have been sent by tutors, people that know more about UI UX design from YouTube. They have vetted the videos and they sent it. So if you want it, you send me a DM, Kelechi, and I can give it to you.
Okay. That's fine. Any more questions, please? Okay, I think maybe we should close. Is there anything? Oh, Laura, I don't know. Maybe I'll research, but I really, really don't know. If it's in Nigeria, I can recommend, because I don't know anything in South Africa. But we can research and get back to you. But for now, I don't want to feed you with wrong information. I don't know. Okay, that's fine.
I want to ask a question.
Okay.
Out of those that came late to the class, how can we get the
Okay.
previous stuff they said? Because I
Okay.
came late.
Oh, okay. We are recording this session. So are you in the group? Are you in the
Yes, yes. I'm
Okay,
in the group.
link available in the WhatsApp group.
Okay, thank you, ma.
Or once you're in the WhatsApp group, we'll make the link available. We've not missed anything.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Oh, thank you too. Thank you too, there. Okay. Okay, Akaba Jennifer wants to ask a question. Please unmute yourself, Akaba Jennifer. Unmute yourself. You cannot unmute you from here. Okay, before we even go, from our next session, from our next webinar in March, let me just announce that for those of us that are here, we'll be giving special offer. So if I were you, come back in March and join our webinar session. That is when we'll announce our special offer. So come. So yeah. Akaba. Okay, Akaba, please unmute yourself. Click on that mic button, unmute yourself, please. Okay. Okay, if there's no more question, can we end the session now? If we are okay, can we end the session? Because this is supposed to be for 1 hour, 30 minutes, and we've passed 1 hour, 30 minutes. Okay. So thank you so much, guys, for joining us. We really appreciate those of us that came in early. Please, our next webinar session, try and join in early so that you will not miss anything. Thank you so much for joining us, guys. We really appreciate you as much as you appreciate us, because if you are not here, we'll be talking to ourselves. So thank you. And we hope that you picked 1 or 2 things. If you have any questions, please ask it in the group. If you don't want to ask it in the group, send us a DM. My name is Solomon. Amaka is there. Dimma is there. We are all admins. Ask us the questions. Thank you so much. Bye.
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 Good evening.
Oh, sorry. Bye.